gang members hold positions at the highest level of LA Sheriff Department, investigation reveals. Now, since then, Alex Villanueva, the former sheriff, has been ousted, it sounds like, and there is a new sheriff in LA. Have things gotten better? Are the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department gangs gone now? Did we win?
No, absolutely not. No. So Robert Luna won. I think, it was important for us to go after Alex Villanueva the way that we did because he was so um, outlandish and violent, and he was in place to protect the deputy gangs. Like, um, there is they used to just take duffel bags of cash over to his house, and like the deputy gangs, like he was in there to protect them. He ran as a progressive in 2018 and won, and it was a total, like, he used the Democratic Party to get in, and then he was just basically there to attack the families and protect deputy gangs. But then Robert Luna won um, in the last election, and he's basically just going to try to be a polished face and voice in front of a department that still has deputy gangs operating within it. His number two is a woman named April Tardy, and she is an admitted tattooed deputy gang member. She's the second in line in the sheriff's department. So he's not rooting out deputy gangs. Like, his number two is a gang member. And there's also these new there's a lawsuit that's happening right now between two rival deputy gangs in Compton, where the head of the station in Compton was a member of what is now, we know, a newly revealed gang called the Gladiators. He filed a lawsuit against fellow deputies in the Compton station, basically because there was a deputy gang turf war happening. And so Deputy Larry Waldy, he sued, and they're in court right now. And so there's two gangs in the Compton station. It's the Gladiators and the Executioners. And so basically, there's a lawsuit going on right now where in Los Angeles, because there was a power struggle between the deputy gangs in the Compton station, and yeah, and then also
What are they
the
being sued for? Who? Why? Who? What are they suing them for?
so Larry Waldy was the one actually that had the rank to be in charge in the Compton station, and he was upset that members of the Executioners deputy gang, which is led by Jaime Juarez, admitted. Excuse me, he's not admitted, but he has the Executioners tattoo. We know that. Um, Juarez ordered a work stoppage with the Executioners in Compton, and basically, and but he was lower ranking than Waldy. And so there's like a power struggle between the deputy gangs, where one deputy gang is a higher ranking official, but the executioners. This is so fucked up, like that I'm having some like political analysis and breaking down that there are two killer deputy gangs in a sheriff's department in Compton. The only way to get into one of these gangs is to murder someone or to help cover up a murder. And so, like, it's like, yeah, I'm breaking it down, like what is happening, but it's like it's so fucked that this is happening. Um, and again, the sheriff's department got an increase to their budget. They get a $3.9 billion budget from the county. Um, they run the jails. And basically they have an extortion racket over the county of Los Angeles, and no elected official is ever going to do anything because they're Democrats and they're cowards. And so, yeah, it's like the people of Los Angeles, have been doing this for a long time, having to, fight for themselves against the sheriff's department.
Does it seem like the new mayor, Karen Bass, is taking a new stance, or is she trying to leverage anything to help this situation, or what? How is she engaged in this?
So this is a great public education lesson because people probably don't realize that there's the city of Los Angeles and the county of Los Angeles. Karen Bass is the mayor of the city of Los Angeles. The city of Los Angeles is 4 million people. The county of Los Angeles is 10 million. The sheriff's department is the county law enforcement agency, and LAPD is the city law enforcement agency. So Karen Bass doesn't have any control over LASD. She does have control over LAPD. And just like every police department around the country and in Los Angeles, Karen Bass raised the LAPD budget this year again. So they're at like $3.2 billion. She has vehemently supported the LAPD in basically every fucking public situation since she's been elected. And as we said earlier, just like Democratic mayors around the country, Eric Adams, Andre Dickens, Karen Bass, Jacob Frey, they're just spineless against the police. They, they suck.
What about Newsom? Could Gavin Newsom do anything? Like, where is there anybody who has any control or leverage over the county sheriffs?
The attorney general is supposed to, and Javier Becerra, that's not how you pronounce his first name, but Becerra, he was a former attorney. The former attorney general opened a special investigation from the AG's office into LASD gangs a few years ago, and then Attorney General Rob Bonta took over. Rob Bonta is a fucking suit too, who is like he hasn't even update he doesn't have an update on the LASD gangs investigation. Who knows what's going on in the Attorney General's office in regards to that? He's like these Democratic officials in California, like Newsom, sellout. Rob Bonta is a suit and a sellout. Like they don't do fucking anything.
Right, and I have to note that Kamala Harris's former job, Attorney General in California. So I'm assuming she didn't do anything to stop or fight back against the gangs.
No. The only thing that has been successful is people speaking out in Los Angeles against the sheriff's department. The coalition that I'm a part of, the Check the Sheriff Coalition, which is led by impacted families and people that have lost loved ones to LASD violence. There are families that have been speaking out for decades. This coalition has continued to grow, and like 4 or 5 years ago, they weren't even calling them deputy gangs; they were calling them cliques or subgroups. And so, due to the work of the people, trying to change the public narrative, they're calling them gangs now. And so, yeah, the only change that we've seen has come from organizing and people power, and it's led by impacted families. And so, as an abolitionist, I'll end it with this, but like as an abolitionist, what does abolition actually look like, and who can we depend on fulfilling what abolition looks like? And we are trying to get rid of the police, but we can't rely on elected officials to do it. So how do we pressure defunding or removing police officers as much as we can, as quickly as possible, and exposing them as fucking violent gang members is going to be one of the first steps, and it's going to be the work that people in Los Angeles do. So we'll see what the future holds for that, but a lot has changed. They still have, crazy control over the county. They'll get increases. But Alex Villanueva got his fucking ass kicked, and Google LASD gangs is very popular. The writer Cerise Castle has done extensive research on it. Kay Cagle, LA Times actually has they had a good previous writer too, but they have a good new writer, Carrie Blakinger. So there's a lot of attention on this.